Hey everybody, I'm here at Community Church Big Bear in Big Bear, California, and we've been working on some stuff this week, so I want to share with you what we've done so far. So the biggest thing was a video upgrade. So I'll show you our video rack here. We've upgraded from an ATEM Television Studio HD to the Constellation 2 ME. And so this is going to give us more inputs and outputs and 2 mix effects instead of 1, and the ability to have multi-format input and output. So it's just going to be a better switch for this church. And then previously, the ATEM and the Resi Ray encoder were on top here, so we got a shelf for that, and we racked this in here. And we also added a switch that has power over Ethernet. So behind this rack, there's a Dante AVIO device that is receiving the broadcast mix, and it's putting it into the ATEM for the audio. And then this network switch is also powering 2 PTZ cameras, which we'll show you a little later on. Also for the video infrastructure, we switched over from using mostly HDMI outputs straight from the back of the computer to having full SDI. Also previously there was HDMI going into a Cat5 converter, first to splitter actually, and then into a Cat5 converter, causing some issues. So we just switched to SDI cable. We bought all the cable and ends, and David and I ran all of the cables through the ceiling from here all the way over to where he installed a couple of new TVs. And we also put SDI infrastructure for the confidence monitor downstairs and all of the cameras coming in. So everything's on SDI and is going to be a much more solid connection. We also did a little bit of work in ProPresenter. So in ProPresenter, we set up a couple of macros so that every time you go to a song, it's going to set the stage display up. We adjusted the stage display a little bit. So on the stage display, now we have the verse or the chorus or whatever the group is, as well as the next line text in a different color, just to make it a little bit clearer for the singers and musicians on what's going on. We also set up a macro for the service countdown. So it's automated by the calendar feature within ProPresenter. So at 8:40 and at 10:25, it's going to trigger this macro, which is triggering this prop layer. So whenever that automation happens, it's going to trigger this service countdown. And so you'll see this countdown start. And once this countdown stops, it goes to black. So that's fully automated now. For video, there was 1 PTZ Optics camera. Now there are 2. So instead of that jarring zoom in from a wide shot to a tight shot, you can switch between the 2 different cameras, pick whatever angle you want, and then switch to it. And the way that we're doing that, as well as operating the ATEM switcher, is through the Stream Deck here. On the Stream Deck, we have PTZ1 and PTZ2, so you can pull up which one of these you want to preview, as well as a third camera that's downstairs, or the full screen graphic from ProPresenter. So if I preview PTZ2, I can choose a preset, and then I can go to it. So if I go to PTZ1, we can see on the preview, we've got PTZ1. On the program, we've got PTZ2. Now I can choose one of these presets, and it's not going to be on the program feed. Then I can switch to it, as well as go to the full screen ProPresenter graphic as well. One of the bigger projects that David and his team did a lot before and even during while I was here, they had a big lift in here, and they took down some projector screens that were over there and replaced them with these TVs. So now we have these nice TVs, whereas before there were projectors in the far corners of the room, which made the viewing angles really awkward. You'd be sitting on one side of the room and you'd be looking all the way across the other side of the room. Even where I'm standing right now, there are speakers in the way, so I wouldn't have been able to see the screen. So just these TVs are brighter and clearer, and also just much better position for viewing the content on the screens. Another big part of this project was reconfiguring their X32 console. The rest of the PA system was in pretty good shape, so I was just focusing on individual channel processing, as well as using the blueprint from the Mixing for Worship course so that channels go into groups, then groups go into both a live stream matrix as well as the house mix, so we're able to group together all the vocals, compress and EQ them a bit together, compress all the band, the drums as groups, and then put them into a live stream matrix, as well as push them into the front of house. And so we were able to make a lot of adjustments on this during a rehearsal. We also were able to set up multi-track recording and playback. So we're able to record each individual channel and play it back for the audio engineers to practice mixing, or just to have the audio for if you want to remix it in a DAW later on. And what we're using for that is this tool called Waveform. So this is a free DAW. You pay maybe $100 for the next level up, but the free version is totally sufficient for being able to record each channel and play it back through the sound system. I recorded rehearsal in 2 services today with no problem, so I'm really excited about being able to use this free tool. We did download Ableton Live, but after 3 months, you'd have to pay $400 or something to keep that. I love Ableton, but being a free tool, I think that this is going to be a great fit for this church. Another thing we're using this computer for is for M32 Edit. So being able to easily rename channels with an actual keyboard, make adjustments, fine-tune adjustments. I just really like the user interface of this, being able to route things much easier than on the console itself. So I'm a big fan of having this software installed, being able to use it. I also was standing here at this point of view that you have right now all morning, and their audio engineer was mixing, and while the audio engineer was mixing the service, I was coming in here and tweaking specific channel EQs and compression. And so we kind of had 2 audio engineers this morning. So that was a really cool advantage of using this software as well. The way that we're able to send all of that audio to the computer and back, as well as send a broadcast audio mix upstairs with the Dante AVIO, is because we have a Dante card in the back of the console, opening up a lot of possibilities for audio routing throughout the building. This church is using this Juice Goose power sequencer, and it just wasn't plugged in the right way, so they were getting some pops every time they turned on and off the system. So we were able to troubleshoot that and make sure that things were plugged into the sequencer the right way and no more pops were happening. We also, whenever we built new cables, made sure that we put the proper label on it so that we knew exactly what the cable was for. And because they're using these smart TVs, we're able to program the power. So every Sunday at 6:30 a.m. they turn on, and at 12:30 they turn off. I've had a really good time here at Community Church Big Bear. We've been able to accomplish a lot together. We're going to continue to accomplish a lot together because David's part of the Worship Accelerator program, so he's got lots of coaching access yet. We're going to continue to refine things, but we got a really good head start with me being here in person for a few days. And so if you're interested in getting this kind of help from one of our coaches at Worship Ministry School, make sure you go to worshipministryschool.com/apply, and we would love to see you in the program. Thanks for watching.